Hello everyone, welcome to this week's webinar. Today we're going to be talking about fertility, how to analyze fertility in your herd. With me I have Rox, who's going to assist me in taking any questions that you may have. You may simply raise your hand using that little button, or simply unmute your microphone and ask away. You can also use the question portion of the applet to ask away. So let's get started. So I'm going to start with showing my screen like this. Rox, can you see my screen?
Yes, I see everything.
Good, excellent. All right, so first I'm gonna talk about fertility analysis as a general report. You might want to go to the cow head, then fertility, and then click overview number 1. So by default, this analysis will run on a monthly basis, so every results are compiled by month, as you can see here. I like to look at it on a yearly basis, and it's quite simple to make the change. Of course, it's up to you, but just in the lower right corner, click Properties. And then what you want to do is click yearly and then select number of periods. We're going to choose the 5 last years. And then if you want to permanently save that settings, simply tick the box, click OK. Give it a few seconds, and then as you can see, you have the last 5 years showing up on your screen. Just be aware that by changing this setting, it will have an influence on the KPIs you see on your dashboard. So for example, the expected calving interval that you see here, like as you know, there are 2 figures in this box. The large number represents the last complete month. In this case, the last complete year, so 2022. And the smaller figure in the corner is in fact the last complete year, so 2021. So just keep in mind that changing the setting in this report will have an influence on your dashboard. So you can see progression of your herd, total cows in herd, total milking cows. You can also look at number of calves born on farm. I like to take a look at this data right here at the bottom. I like to, or maybe before we go there, I'd like to see progression of young stock that is born dead or died within 14 days. I like to keep that below 10%. So as we can see, we're right on the line. We seem to be, we were doing better in the previous years. So just try to keep that in your mind here. I like to also look at your predicted calving interval. I like to keep it under 400 days. As we can see here, that's not an issue at all. You may be wondering also, what is the gray box that you see in the on the table? So that means, for example, there is still data yet to be confirmed in those box. So if you click on the little eye when you hover the mouse on this figure here, you can see that it's probably a preg check that we're awaiting for a bunch of animals, as you can see in the list here. So those who don't have a check mark, it just means that, you know, they're probably below 30 days, 28 days. They haven't gotten a preg check yet. You also have a bunch of presets that you can use in the lower left corner. Right now it's empty, so it's looking at the whole herd based on the parameters we initially set up. If you click, it'll bring a drop-down list where you can filter, have different filters. So if you want to look at the last 12 months for first lactation animals only, then you can just select it from this list. And there's a few ones you can pick up from. Rox, is there any questions so far?
It's still going good. Everything is clear for everyone, I think.
Good. Thank you. Next, I'd like to show a very popular analysis that a lot of people, of course, have on their dashboard, the preg rate, conception rate, and breeding rate. These buttons, in case you don't have it, you don't have these on the dashboard, they can be simply added by clicking the gear right here, and then just make sure that right here, you just tick those boxes and also put your targets for what's good for you and what's bad for you. And anything between these values will show up orange. Anything that's below good, or sorry, above good will show green, and anything that's below bad values will show red. So that's very visual here. Of course, when you click on these buttons, it'll take you to the fertility KPI. Or you can simply click on the cow head, go to fertility, and then click fertility KPI. I like to go in the conception rate portion. There's a few things I like to see in there. First, I like to click breeder or AI technician, whether it's someone on farm or any company, any consultant you do business with. They'll be listed there. You can track how good they are based on conception rate. Just be careful. I'll just sort them by conception rate here, and as you can see, these few ones at 55, 60, 66% conception rate. Of course, that doesn't make sense, but just keep in mind that they have very few insemination. So that's why, of course, they were successful with a bunch of them, but that does not represent reality because there's just too few results. So that is essentially what your 95% column is. Okay, so that's the confidence interval, or CI, 95% CI value. And what that means really is very simple. If we take a look at 1133 here, we see that we can say that with any result when he breeds a cow will be at 95% of the chance will be located between 17 and 100%. Of course, that's very broad, that's very large, and the only reason is because, like I said again, there's not enough insemination to have a more accurate value. So the lower the 95 CI interval is, the more accurate your result is for this person. So, and that's true for any filter that we're going to put on this list. The next one I really like to check also is the bulls. So simply click insemination bull. And you can see the same, they're all sorted by conception rate again. So again, this is not gut feelings, this is facts. This is your actual conception rate based on sires. And same with 95% confidence interval. This shows what piece of data is very accurate and what other pieces are as much. The other one that I'll show you is the estrus signs. Estrus signs basically is every time you enter a breeding in the software, you're going to select what is the source of the breeding. So why are you breeding this animal? Is it because you have a health monitoring system that told you that, hey, cow 23 is in heat? There's a nice natural heat there, you should breed her. In this case, you're going to say that this was from this originated from the activity detection system. So this will compile results. You see all these, we've got loot shots, obsyncs. We have a bunch of things that we do on this farm, and every single one of them will compile results based on why animals were bred. So as you can see, our natural heats are at 36% conception rate, which is pretty good. Again, this shows the value of a health monitoring system in today's farm. I think it's clear. We see this on many customer software. This always seems to be the highest in conception rate. One more thing I'd like to show. Sorry, Roxy, is there any questions for this?
No, but I wanted to add like a tips and tricks with this overview. So when we have larger herd, it's possible to tick at the very bottom, split into periods. So it's possible to have an overview per month. So sometimes it could be useful when we have either problem or we want to compare sync programs. Are they still going good? Or do we have a month that it was more difficult with the natural heat, etc., etc. So that could be a useful tool. And when we are selecting one reason, it will highlight all the same one in the other month. So it eases the comparison. So if you just click on it, it's going to be in yellow. No,
sorry.
you just have to click on the like time of sync, on the double of sync. So just click on it.
Oh,
no matter which one. So yes, we have all the lines on each month that they are highlighted in yellow. So it's easier to compare between months if we have a variation.
See, I just learned something today. I wasn't aware I could do this.
So we can move on now.
Okay, so even if I scroll, I still get to see the same piece of data just month after month, and it's highlighted in yellow. I like that. Thank you. All right, so moving on to the next analysis I want to show you. We're going to click on the cow head. Then again, fertility. Insemination analysis number 7. Give it a few seconds. Here we go. So if you look at I think by default it goes to the second tab. It stays to the first breeding, first insemination. A few things on this graph. At the very bottom, you have your calving dates for the past year. Days in milk on the left, and you have your voluntary waiting period. That's going to be the blue line. So that might be different for your herd. And always the 100-day is going to be the red line. I like to have no more than 5% of my animals that are over 100 days. See, in this case, I only have 2 cows. These two cows here, and I like to keep my 1% of my cows below 30 days. So if we look 30 days, see, I have 2 cows here. So again, this is I think 400 animals herd, so we're good. You see red and green blocks. What does that mean? Basically, the green ones are those that are pregnant, and those in red are not pregnant. And if we move on to days to pregnancy, so second tab, so this basically shows you that this is pretty much the same scale, the same lines, blue and red, calving date at the bottom, but this shows you which animals were pregnant on the first breeding. So that's the square, the green square, and those who took more than one breeding to get pregnant. So that's the upside down triangle that you see. So I really like it's very visual again. So this is the piece of information you can get for fertility. Again, this is quite important that data is entered religiously, because of course this is time you invest in entering data is of course a very good return on investment when you look at these pieces of information that I've shown you today. So again, it depends. If you're going to look at these analysis, make sure you enter that very precisely. So I think you're going to see you're going to get your herd to the next level with this. Any question, Rox, before we hit the finish button?
No, I don't think so. Everyone understand what you are talking about, and it's crystal clear.
Good, awesome. So we'll make this webinar available. All of those who signed up for this webinar will get the video link in just a few days, I think, as soon as the recording is processed, and we will make this available on the Academy, which, by the way, while I'm talking about the Academy, make sure if you look in the lower left corner of your screen, you see that little hat here. If you click on it, it will take you to the login page of the Uniform Academy. You should check this out. We've got all videos from all webinars. We've got video instructions. It's a huge library. We've got simulations in there. If you want to learn something on your own about Uniform, that's the right spot to go. So if you don't have your account, it's a free account. If you're a customer with us, just call the support email or call support, and we'll provide you with login information. All right. Well, thanks everyone. Thanks, Rox, for looking after the questions, even if there wasn't any questions, but I'm glad we can make this available for future use.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye for now.